2 years ago, I lost my job, which made me decide that I never want to work in a corporate environment ever again. So I started my own business in my basement. And what started out as just merch, overlays, and LEDs quickly became way more than I could have imagined. And fast forward a year later, we were able to move into our own shop space here in Iowa. But I think it's time we get away from this cold Iowa winter. So I'm packing up and we're going all the way out to Sacramento, California. So you guys are probably wondering what the heck is going on. Well, let me just show you. This is the new Driven Media headquarters all the way out in California. Now, let me explain, because there's a lot more to it than just that, and it's probably not what you're thinking. You probably think we're picking everything up and moving it here to California, but that's actually not the case. But you see, what I figured out by going through this whole process and being in this industry for the past decade or so is that it kind of sucks doing things on your own. Can you do it? Yes, of course, but doing this sort of stuff with your friends and people you care about is so much better. Let me introduce you to an old friend of mine. Some of you may recognize him.
We are back, baby!
Yo and I actually met way back in 2013.
We were actually driving the same exact cars. It was a Bug-Eye WRX wagon, and we met at a local Iowa Subaru Club meet. Pretty sure I was holding the camera and Kevin was holding the camera. We were both Asian dudes, drove the same car. It was like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, a little geeky Asian kid. I was like, oh, who's this guy? So came up and asked some questions, found out that we both drove the same car, and obviously that's like that bro situation where you're instantly best friends.
And so I was telling him about the autocross events, and he was super interested, and I told him about the next event and told him to come out. Sure enough, he actually showed up.
Yeah, I had never done anything like that before. This was literally my intro into the whole car scene. The Bug-Eye WRX was my first tuner car, didn't have anything cool before that, and so I was very eager to do something with this, modify it, go out and do the autocross. So when I had the opportunity, I wanted to take advantage, so Yo invited me to go out to an autocross. I showed up by myself, didn't know anybody. It was what I was really proud about, and it also like spoke a lot about Kevin's character, because usually, especially somebody younger or whatever, they wouldn't do that on their own. They needed a support group or something like that. Kevin just showed up and said, I want to do this. This looks awesome, looks fun. He introduced himself to me, talked to me when I was there, and I was like, all right, I like what this kid's about. I ended up seeing some work that he was doing that he posted on Facebook, and it was of his girlfriend at the time, and they were doing these fashion lookbooks. Yeah, that was my intro. That was my beginning of my YouTube career. Yo saw that on Facebook, and he reached out and he's like, hey, maybe you should come do videos for us.
Yeah.
Yo ended up actually bringing me on board as an employee.
Yep, so Kevin was technically our first hire, and we were doing things, and the company grew incredibly during that time that Kevin was there, to the point where I could not be on camera anymore. It made more sense for Kevin to just take that over, and go look at that.
No, don't watch those videos.
But that is the origin story of Kevin at FT86 Speed Factory.
Sometimes I do go back and watch those videos, and it's just funny to see how far we've come.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, there's a lot of stuff that happened, obviously, in between that. There's about a decade of stuff that happened at FT86 Speed Factory and Subi Speed between Kevin and I. And if you guys want to really know the dirty details,
the nitty gritty,
and you know, about how we grew, what we turned into, how it got sold off, and what it is now, and why we're here, let us know, because we will make that video for you guys.
Yeah, I think you guys would be interested to hear the whole situation. But that's not what we're here for today. We're talking about the reason why we're out in California and why we're next to this guy again.
Yeah. So, you know, as Kevin told you guys, doing things on your own is very noble, but it takes a village to really accomplish something. It takes a team, it takes people with expertise, it takes people with experience to really build something special. And I think that is what Kevin wants to do, is to build something special again, something that's special in his own and really our own and your guys's as well, because we really want to bring this audience into this. And that's part of the reason why I'm here, is to help expand that knowledge, to become a partner in Driven Media.
Yes.
To really show that we are going to bring you guys more content, more product assortment, better service, a better website experience, everything that you would come to expect out of a business that's been around for a while, we want to have here, and we want to experience that with you guys.
Yeah, essentially, just to be completely transparent with you guys, a lot of, actually, almost all of the employees that are currently a part of the Driven Media team, we have worked with in the past in some capacity, and some actually go almost as far back as Yo and I. Yep. So it's essentially me trying to get the family back together.
Family, insert
yes.
Dominic Toretto, family, right now.
But that's the important thing. That's why I said, you know, I don't want to do this just by myself. It's not fun. It's not why I'm doing this. I want to bring the people I care about with me on this journey, yep. You guys with me on this journey, and build something even better.
Yeah, so now that you guys know why I'm here, why don't we show you guys around and talk about the things that you guys can expect in the future.
Yeah, let's check this place out. I know it's not much, but it's ours.
It's something. So with the acquisition of this new shop, we've got a lot of potential here. But to start, we're gonna keep it simple. We've got a nice tool set and toolbox behind me. We're gonna get a lift installed so we can start working on cars ASAP. Not only are we gonna be working on cars here, but we're gonna be filming content for you guys. So we're gonna be using this space as a content studio for Driven Media, and as a home base for Kevin when he comes and visits us, so we can go to events out here in the state of California.
So what the heck am I actually doing here if we don't have anything here? There's no lift, there's no car. Well, that's actually not the case, because if you were paying attention earlier in the video, I just so happened to pull up to the shop in a very specific vehicle. And it's too much of a coincidence that it happens to be a brand new Subaru BRZ TS that Yo over there just picked up. Let's go check it out as soon as I figure out how to get down from here. Oh God.
This is the 2024 Subaru BRZ TS. But before we really talk about that car, I think it's fitting that we talk about my history with the twins. I first saw one of the twins in a rendering back in 2010, I want to say, and it was a very interesting car to me at the time because it was something new, it was something fresh from Toyota and Subaru, and it really had a lot of the looks and feel of a JDM car that I was into at the time. Fast forward to 2012, and I see one in real life at the Chicago Auto Show. And I probably sat at that booth for 45 minutes to an hour just staring at that car, understanding the proportions, really looking at it, and trying to get myself to be tired of the car before I left. That really didn't happen because I was in love with that car. A little history, I was at the time I was driving an Evo 9 MR, and I was tracking that car, and it was my daily driver. and it cost a lot of money to run. The car was hard on tires, it was hard on brakes, it was hard on me driving it. Maybe I didn't have enough talent at the time to drive that all-wheel drive monster, and honestly, it really masked a lot of the mistakes I had as a driver on track. So all those consumables come down to weight and power. And what did the first gen FRS and BRZ not have? Definitely wasn't a big weight disadvantage, and it definitely didn't have a lot of power. So there was two things there that really made that package very compelling for me at the time. I was talking to my friend Jeremy, and we went and ended up buying two of these cars. I got my car first, my red Scion FRS, back in June of 2012. And the first thing we did with that car was throw it on the dyno. So if you look back at the FT86 Club threads, there's a dyno thread where we tested a bunch of drop-in air filters at the time. One of those simplest things, and it actually showed that we gained power. Back-to-back runs, we ran them multiple times, we overlaid all of the different drop-in air filters over stock, and we could tell that there was some power happening up top. And that was just a great thread. A lot of the audience really enjoyed that, and I really want to thank you guys for following along from there and seeing the success that we were able to have at FT86 Speed Factory. It's because of guys like you that are watching today. So fast forward, I ended up selling my FRS, funny enough, to Kevin's brother, Vu, which in, I don't know how long, 8 months or so, he ended up wrecking the car, drifting off of an on-ramp and hitting a K barrier. We were fortunate enough to purchase that car back from his insurance company. That's how bad I missed that car and wanted that car back in our shop. So we got a wrecked car back, and we were able to build that car into a full caged HPDE time trial wheel-to-wheel race car. And I was able to campaign that car for 2 or 3 years at multiple events like Global Time Attack, Grid Life, and SCCA events across the country. And one of those events, Kevin actually had his first HPDE experience in that car, and that was at VIR Virginia International Raceway, and was such a cool experience to share that with him and allow him to take that car on track, because he was a pretty new employee with us at the time, and I'm pretty sure he really appreciated that and was like, yeah, this is a pretty cool job. So why this car specifically, the Subaru BRZ TS? Well, like other reviewers, most of the problems that the first gen had, the second gen solved those. And I totally agree with those sentiments, because the car is faster. It's got a better, torquier motor. The interior finishes are better, and subjectively, I like the looks of this car better. I think the proportions are right, and it really still has that feel that it's a twin, that it came from that same car that we knew and loved many years ago. With the TS trim specifically, you get finer interior trims. I really like the blue inside. The Alcantara and suede really gives that quality premium feel. It's not BMW quality, it's not Porsche quality, but it's up there for a JDM manufacturer. And when you spend 35 to 40 grand on a car, I really want you to feel like you spent that much money on a car, to where it doesn't feel like a toy or just a plastic shit box like the first gen cars were. Sorry, first gen guys. And obviously with the TS trim, you get even more than that. The Hitachi dampers up front, which are tuned specifically for the BRZ TS. We'll talk about those changes and how that drives in a different video. And obviously the Brembo brake package as well. These are a throwback to the STIs of old, the GD WRX STI with the gold Brembos. It just harks back to those glory days of JDM cars that I have lusted after and grew up looking to purchase when I was younger. And I think that's really cool that they gave that throwback with those gold Brembos on this car.
And moving forward with this car, you guys are going to see a lot more performance driving and performance product reviews, because we've got some great roads here in NorCal and world-class tracks that are merely hours away. I'm really excited to throw some parts on this thing and really wring it out to show you guys what this car can do.
Now that you know we've got the new shop, the new car, we've got Yo again, what can you expect moving forward? Well, obviously there's gonna be a bunch of new content, and that content is actually going to live on the Driven Media YouTube channel. So if you wanna stay up to date on what's happening with this car and what Yo is working on, head over there. Make sure to subscribe. Right now there's no videos on the channel, but they're gonna start to roll out soon. There's gonna be a lot of technical stuff on there, so in-depth installs, product reviews, exhaust videos, because Yo can take the car out to the really nice driving roads and get drive-bys and reviews and such where I don't have those roads. But definitely go over there, support that channel. What does that mean for this channel? Well, not much is gonna change, really. You're still gonna see me, the GR86, the WRX, the GR Corolla. You'll probably see this car on there as well. And hopefully more behind the scenes stuff. It's just gonna be more of me and what I'm actually doing. The reason why we have this whole shop space and the new car out here is because during the winter in Iowa, it's super cold, it snows, they salt the crap out of the road, so it really restricts what I'm able to do with the cars there during the winter time. But now that we have this space out here, I can come out here, work on the cars, drive the cars, and continue to create the content year-round without having to worry about that. Plus, there's a bunch of amazing tracks near here that we can go to and take the cars to. We can do different challenges with the BRZ, the GR86. The possibilities are endless. If there's something specific that you guys want to see, let us know in the comments section down below. But I am beyond excited for this huge step for us. It still feels like a dream to me, actually flying here and seeing the new shop space, seeing the new car, meeting with Yo again. It feels surreal. Last year it was me moving out of my basement and into the shop space that you guys have seen. And this year we're starting it off moving into a garage space all the way across the country, getting 2 new cars and bringing on more people that I believe in and that actually care about what we're doing and that are true car enthusiasts. Like I said, I want to be able to enjoy this journey with friends, and to be able to make that into a reality is a blessing. So thank you guys for continuing to support me, to support us through this all. This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see what we're able to achieve together. But that is gonna do it for today. Make sure to head over to the Driven Media channel. Subscribe to both channels, actually. Once I get back, we're gonna be diving into the GR Corolla. I cannot wait. There is way too much to do. This is crazy. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.